what's going on, everybody? So again, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I'll be letting you guys know where we are in the market as well as where we might be heading. And then I wanted to touch base with you guys and give you guys my thoughts about the whole crypto environment is in its entirety. I think there's a lot of things to talk about there, and I just want to give you guys my 2 cents about the entire big picture as well. Let's jump right back into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, guys. As you guys can see, we had more selling pressure come in. We had it late last night, early this morning, and it wicked all the way down here to about $28,000. Little on the high side, 28.8 for the price point. But then we fought back and rallied, as you can see here in the lower time frames. We rallied from that low, from that 28.8 low, all the way up to that where we are now, $31,700, give or take. It looks like it wants to push back into that 32. As a matter of fact, it has, but we're finding ourselves just below it right now. It looks like it wants to rally there. Hopefully, the bulls and the support can maintain and keep coming in. To not allow this to go much further. We can only see what happens again on the higher time frames though. We still have this yellow X on the 4-hour. If you guys don't know, I use Market Cipher along with other indicators to help me read what's going on in the charts. And on Market Cipher, that yellow X usually signifies, I say usually, it always signifies market manipulation within the charts or within the price action. If you guys can see here, we've had them before. We've had them many times before, but that's what it signifies. So that yellow X, if it does not remove itself, will probably signify more downward pressure. Again, it's going to confirm about 23 minutes. By the time of this video, it probably would have already confirmed. So we might see some downward pressure still come in again. Guys, $30,000 range still holding up quite well. I mean, again, it gets tested time and time again, and it keeps getting tested right here. Boom, 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 boom. And yes, we've rallied every single time. Unfortunately, we know the rules, right? The more price action test support or resistance, the more chance of that being broken, whether it be support or resistance. So hopefully, I mean, this doesn't go on for too much longer, because if it does, eventually it will get broken. Whether the bears or the bulls get exhausted, somebody's going to get exhausted and something's going to break. So we're at critical levels right now. For the big picture and for the immediate future, guys, I do see us probably coming down a little bit more. Again, I'm hoping not so, but I do see that happening. If we go on the charts here, you can see I have my Fibonacci retracement tool out. And as you guys can see, and as you're charted, it hit exactly on that 0 line for the Fibonacci retracement. We're trying to climb back up to that 0.236 level. Again, we're just ranging in the middle of this channel right now. Hopefully the bears get exhausted and realize that we're not giving up on this level. Hopefully they start realizing we're not going to give up on this level, and pricing come back into this middle or this next channel of support here between the 0.236 and the 0.382 for the Fibonacci retracement. We've been in there consistently for some time now. Again, I would just like to see it kind of range within this level. I think it would be really, really healthy and really, really good looking for the short to near term for Bitcoin. If we can maintain this 30,000 and just go sideways for this bear market, let's just face it, call it what it is, guys, whether it's manipulated or not, we are in a bear market, whether it be mini or large. If we can just range here, that would be beautiful. But only time will tell, guys. If we do dip down lower, though, like I showed you guys on a higher time frame earlier on yesterday's video, I do see us going down. Sorry, I've zoomed out a little bit more. I do see us going down to that $24,000 range as support, or next level of support. If we break that level of support and it does not hold up, I can see us going all the way down to that $19,000 or $20,000 range for Bitcoin. Now, if it does go down to that price point, I do not think it will be for very long. I think a lot of people will realize the potential there, the profits to be made there. I think how they know how much of a deal or steal that would be for Bitcoin and its value, and it will be gobbled up really quickly by any long-term hodlers like myself or retail investors. That $20,000 range will not last long, guys. So if it does play out, please be aware. This is not financial advice. Please be aware that it will not be there long. It's kind of like, you know, one of those flash deals at the store or something like that. Like, it's not going to stay. It will be taken off the shelf really quickly. So that's just my prediction and my guess about the market short to near future with Bitcoin. Again, it will come down something like, oops, I'm sorry, that was not my drawing tool. This is my drawing tool. It'll come down something like this, hopefully bounce back up, and we just kind of range. That's one scenario. If not, it'll come down here really quickly, bounce, 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 range, maybe come back up here, but hopefully just range between that $25,000, $30,000 range. And then last scenario, if none of those two play out, it'll just come flashing all the way down here. Again, nothing moves in a straight line, so I'm being kind of dramatic with this drawing, but it'll come down to that $19,000, $20,000 range, and it'll just range here before getting snapped back up to that $24,000, $25,000 range. Again, it'll happen really quickly, so it won't happen even that long. It'll come down here maybe and just come back up. But that's what I see happening for Bitcoin, guys. Ethereum, very, very similar, guys. For the Fibonacci retracement, we're on the 12 hours. Let me go to the 4 hours so you can see a little bit better here. We wicked all the way down to that zero line. Again, we're right in the middle of the channel for the Fibonacci retracement for our last level of support. Still above that zero line though, so something to keep in mind. Again, yesterday I shared with you guys that I thought that basically where we at right now for the Ethereum price would be a level of support. I actually drew it out to 1871. We're just at 1860. We're at 1870 right now. So I thought that would be a level of support. Again, it did get cut through late last night with the market manipulation. As you can see, Market Cipher showing us that we have the yellow X's here. So we did get cut through pretty quickly, but we rallied back up from that low, from that, guys, and it was on a discount. I don't care what anybody says. Ethereum at 17, anywhere in this price range, discount. Discount prices, long-term holds. I'm not talking about like a year. I'm not talking about 2 years. Long-term, still a discount. Yeah, you could get better deals, maybe, but if you're DCAing, still a good buy, right? Like this is deals. Not financial advice, but for me, like I've been DCAing, right? I've got a lot of ADA, I've got a lot of Ethereum already though, so I don't know how much more I will do. But if it does, man, if it gets down to these levels here again, and if it especially gets down to this last level of support, and I'll get to this in a second, I will be DCAing quite a bit more to hold on to for 5-10 years. But that's just me, not financial advice. Do your own homework, practice your own risk management. It's all up to you. I can't tell you what to do, just what I'm doing. So again, we're finding ourselves trying to get back up to that level of support that I drew yesterday. If we do not hold and we see a lot more selling pressure come in, which I think would be hard to believe, but I I can't believe where we're not now. So it's possible. So we might come down to that $1,500 range. If it does, I see that as the layer or the bottom floor for Ethereum's bear market. I think it'll bounce off here and just cycle sideways for some time if we get that pressure come in. I think a lot of people, just like Bitcoin, see the value here. Ethereum it's not like Bitcoin. It's not just a store of value. Ethereum actually has function. They actually have a lot of platforms using Ethereum as far as development goes. There's a lot of NFTs, a lot of projects already working on Ethereum. I think a lot of people will see the value in this range right here, to be honest, between the two, and not let it go too much further than where it's at, regardless of how much institution or market manipulation comes in and tries to suppress the price for Ethereum. Guys, there's just too much value. There's too much use case. There's too much adoption already for Ethereum. We got development for ETH 2.0. I'm not saying that's going to save us. I'm not crazy. I do think it's a good thing. ETH 2.0 is in scarcity. It's going to be burning things. It's going to be making things more scarce. When things are more scarce, value goes up. But I'm not a moon boy. I do know that ETH 2.0 is not going to solve everything. It's not just going to pump the price up to back up to $4,000. But I do, it's something to keep in mind. It's development that will increase the value of Ethereum. Period. Like, there's no way around that. It's just what it's going to do. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take 10 years. I don't know, but it will increase the value, right? Ethereum's not going away. I don't care what anybody says. Even with ADA, even with BNB, even with all the smart contracts coming out that might be a lot more efficient, a lot more in many different ways. Ethereum's not going away. It's been adopted already. It's kind of like Bitcoin. It's not going away. It is what it is. So keep that in mind, guys. That's what's going on for Ethereum. Let's move over to ADA. I know I'm speaking kind of quickly, but we have a lot of stuff to get through, so bear with me. ADA, same thing on the Fibonacci retracement, guys. We wicked right down past this zero line. We snapped back up with support. We're right in the middle of just below the middle of the channel here for ADA. ADA is very, very, it's unique. As a matter of fact, I cannot believe it got down to 99 cents, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, like I said earlier, I can't believe where we are now. So, I mean, anything's probable at this point. We could wick all the way down to 75 cents. We could go all the way down to 50 cents. Matter of fact, I have DCA and limit buys already set for that level. Not leveraged, but just long-term holds for that level. If it gets down there, guys, your boy is going to be stupid rich. Stupid crypto rich, at least. And I'm talking like 5 to 10 year holds, right? But that's just me. I'm not telling you guys. You guys could have your own opinions about ADA, about Ethereum. You guys could have your opinion about Bitcoin. You guys could all think this is a big Ponzi scheme. I can tell you and debate you why that's not the case. But again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? That's just me doing what I'm doing. I believe in these use cases for these smart contracts. I believe in Bitcoin's function or use as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against the dollar, and just a way to give financial freedom to a lot of people who are out there in the world who do not want to be regulated by the financial institutions that are, like the fiat, the government and the banking platforms that are out there right now. They don't want to lose you. That's why they're fighting so hard and putting out so much FUD out there in the cryptoverse. And this is kind of going to the point where I said earlier, I wanted to talk to you guys about the whole entirety of the space. That's what's going on, guys. Please believe that. That is exactly what's going on. The government doesn't. The government is the one who prints off, or the federal government is the one that prints off the dollar, right? Our currency here in the West, in the United States, and they have an endless supply limit of it. And guess what, guys? Unfortunately, it is facing devaluation and inflation like we've never seen before. The only way to combat that for the feds is to keep printing off money and to lock you guys in with higher interest rates because we're going to be the ones paying for this. They're printing off money and they're handing it off to everybody, saying, oh, look at us. We're great. We're handing it off to everybody. But at the same time, please realize that you are the one paying for this. There's nothing free. Matter of fact, you're seeing the ball start rolling now, and you think it's bad right now. It's going to be really bad when it snowballs into a bigger boulder, because that is what's literally happening right now. The only way out of it for the feds, they can't just give up. They can't just go do over. They can't. They cannot. And neither can the banks. Banks are private, by the way, guys. If you guys don't know that, the banks are private. Just because the banks hold federal money doesn't mean that they're one and the same. They're handshaking a lot. Matter of fact, they hold hands all day long, but they're two different entities, and they both have the same thing in mind when it comes to the end goal. They want to lock you in to be dependent on them. You have to be for them, or else everything else doesn't, like nothing else matters. You have to be dependent on the federal government, and you have to be dependent on the banks. That's what they want you to believe. That's the narrative, guys. So that's why so much FUD is being put out there for crypto in its entirety, especially Bitcoin right now. When a country like El Salvador breaks free, that's why they're not helping them. That's why the World Bank doesn't want to help them anymore. That's why I forget off the top of my head, but that's why the institution, what is it? Not the ICP, that's a digital token. I forget what I'm trying to think of, but that's why that one bank won't give them any more money, right? Because they loan money to these third world countries on interest. It's not like they're like they're saviors of these countries or anything like that. It's not like they're doing them any favors. Long run, they're making money off them. It's all a scheme. It's all for profit. Do not think they're in anything else. They're all in that game, for profit game. There's nothing for free. This free money that you're getting is not free. You're gonna pay for it. We're all paying for it. So like that whole promise again. I know I'm on tear, but you guys have to hear this. The whole promise of only the higher level money makers in the society in the United States are going to be paying a certain percentage was a lie. Because guess what? The feds just put out an article, and I wish I still had it up. They just put out an article saying that they're going to move up their timetables to increase interest rates on everybody because they have to, because of inflation. They have to. That's the way they raise taxes and they raise interest rates in the banks. That's what they do. We pay for it, guys. I'm sorry everybody fell for this, but we were trying to. A lot of people are trying to tell you this before it got to it, but we are where we are. Unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, all these use smart contracts. Not all of these crypto assets, are fabulous, like I'm saying, but the particular few that have way more than just profitability scales for people to think about. El Salvador took Bitcoin because that's offering them financial freedom. They can mine it. The whole energy consumption FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. I keep saying FUD. If you guys don't know what that is, that's fear, uncertainty, doubt narrative that's being pumped out there by news platforms and social media. Is just that. It's FUD. They can mine it using thermal energy from volcanoes. Guys. 100% renewable energy. The majority of the people in the West that are big companies that mine Bitcoin use renewable energy, water, hydro energy, solar energy. China banning crypto is a good thing. They were the ones using coal. They were the few actually using, you know, bad sources of energy to mine Bitcoin. Not all of them, but a lot of them still were. Yeah. And that's what they're, you know, think about that too, guys. Why do you think China is wants to ban Bitcoin? Because it offers freedom to their communist party. They're a communist party. They're a communist country, nation. They do not want their people to have freedom. I am Chinese. I'm not saying that gives me the right to say this, but this is just my opinion about it, guys. They do not want freedom in their country. They want their citizens to be locked down, to be good little boys and girls, to listen to everything they say and walk when they walk, to jump when they jump, and eat when they eat, to sleep when they sleep, guys. I know I'm using analogies. That's the truth. They're a communist party. They don't want freedom there. They don't promote it at all. Why do you think they don't allow Google? Why do you think they don't allow Facebook? And I have my reasons I don't like them. They centralize a lot of stuff, but they still don't even let them in their country. Think about it before you start believing and letting go of the things that might make you guys very well off. You guys are selling off freedom. And it's the same point. I'm not trying to get into a political stance and stuff like that, but it was one of the same points I made earlier to a bunch of people that I know personally. And I'll press this question to you. Are you willing to sell off some of your freedom for a sense of security? Think about that. It's a big question. Are you willing to let go parts of your freedoms for a sliver of what feels like security, whether it be mental, physical, financial, whatever it may be? Are you willing to let that go? Are you willing to sell that freedom, which is priceless and very hard to get back once you let go of it? People had to die for a lot of these freedoms. People have died for a lot of these freedoms that we're taking for granted right now, that we're letting go and letting people manipulate on a day-to-day basis. Think about that value, guys. Think about that before you let that go. Because while it feels safe to accept that federal loan money, is just a loan. Matter of fact, it wasn't even a loan. We're going to pay for it. We're paying for it. While it feels good to listen, to be good boys and girls, there's a cost. There's a cost on the other side of that. And yes, I get it. I'm not right on everything I say. I get it. Different strokes, different folks, different situations for people. You can only do so much to where, everybody has their own comfort limits and who am I to say anything? I don't know your story. I don't know I haven't walked in your shoes, but I will press that question to you. Will you sell and will you keep selling parts of your freedoms for a sliver of whatever you think is security? Will you? And to top that off, is that living? Are you living your life the way you want it to be? Or are you living a life that others want you to be living? Because that's literally what's happening with these market movers, these people that are way higher than us, guys. I'm talking about, I can't say their names, I won't say their names. I'm talking about very well-off, powerful people. I always use this saying, and this is like, until somebody can prove you differently. You were invited to this table, sure. You're invited to the party, you're invited to this dinner, you're invited to this table, but they had no intention of you ever eating. It's a facade. It's so they look good and feel good about themselves and everybody believes it. They will not let you eat off that plate. They might feed you scraps, but they do not want you eating at their party. I promise you. That's the whole thing about GameStop, AMC, short squeezing, hedge companies, bigger people that run these hedge companies, these big money, the government, the people holding hands behind closed doors that you and I never see but are at play. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is true, legit things, factual things. There are people out there who are benefiting off your fear. Please, I'm sorry that I just got into a humongous rant, but please think about it before you start getting shook out of your positions in life. In not just crypto, not just financially, mentally, physically. Think about it, guys. Please. Anyway, that's my rant for today. I'm just gonna leave it with you guys. I got real serious about that. I'm very sorry, but I'm just gonna leave it at that, guys. I want you guys to really think about it. Ooh, look at my miners going off here. Uh, I'm mining at the same time right now. I got Bitcoin from mining. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I know it got really serious, but it's real. It's real. Be blessed, guys. Practice proper risk management. Don't stick your neck out too much, and just hold. But stay strong. Just stay strong. I ain't selling. I ain't selling. I'm buying.